Yeah, so the formula for a lot of these things is like entertain, educate, execute, right? So the first part is just picking a spot that people are going to want to see, especially within your community. That way, when you're going out there to shoot your videos, you just take pictures like in between your videos. And here's what we would do as far as the videos go. We follow a problem solution framework, right? It always comes down to who is the audience I'm speaking to. You would name a problem that they would have, get 3 talking points, name a solution that you offer and get 3 talking points. And I come up with 5 of those scripts before we even left. Now I'm ready to go shoot video. We go to that one place and we shoot all of our video there. And the great thing about picking a lot of these places is I can shoot video shooting this way. It's one background. Then we just turn this way. It's a whole nother background so people don't know any better. So we take all of our 5 videos in that one spot. When we come back, we take all those 5 videos, plug them in a template, boom, video done within 10 minutes. So that's 30 days of content in one singular day.
Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm your host, Matt Milia, and in this podcast, we'll talk about the real, raw, uncut business success secrets you won't find anywhere else. Follow my journey from entry level to CEO. We discuss real actionable items you can plug into your business right away. To subscribe to our weekly top tips, you can go to www.mattpodcast.com and join our community of elite high-level performers. And if you're interested in our inside sales company, you can go to www.appointmentstoday.com to jump on a free strategy call. And now, stay tuned for our podcast. All right. What's happening, everybody? Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. I mean, we're coming close. A lot of great things happening right now. I'm super excited for our episode today, and you are on Business Insights with Matt Milia. This is episode number 9. So it's funny because this thing's just flying. And the great thing here, because of course, our content king here, I wanted to level up and get myself into a place where I can shoot a lot more video and be out all about throughout just in movement. So I got this gimbal, invested in it. Awesome investment. Thank you, of course, Nick, for the recommendation on all the videos and different training. So without further ado, though, Nick, for anybody that doesn't know who you are, why don't you give us a little bit of an introduction and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so no, I appreciate you having me on here, Matt. And I actually just got one of those myself, so I'm excited. Maybe we could go places and use them together.
Absolutely.
That'll be fun. No, but I started my real estate career off with you, actually, at the call center. You're the reason I got into real estate or even thought about getting into sales. You actually saw something in me at the time. I didn't really see it myself as far as when it came to sales, getting on the phone. I was always deathly afraid of the phone until I started going through your training. And I know you know that for a fact because you heard me when I first started. It was not pretty. Let's just say some other people probably want to get rid of me at first. But Matt's like, nope, you don't know this kid like I do. But anyways, so I ended up around, I listened to your training, your mindset training, everything that we were going through. That's how I started being able to crush it on the phone. Once I started crushing on the phone, that's when we kind of moved me into like the coaching roles where I was coaching people in the organization, outside of the organization. Then I started working with a lot of our clients and working with a lot of people on that aspect. That's a big way when I started working with our clients, working with their drip campaigns, seeing what they're doing with personal branding, whether it was our clients or some people within the office as well. That's when I made the transition into work with people with their personal brands and really finding the easier way to sell homes, which is content cards. So what we started doing with some of these top agents that we work with their personal brands, one of their biggest issues was they had so much content scattered all over the internet. They couldn't remember where to send people if they had a video, if they had a value proposition, a link. They'd dig through their emails for hours. So what we did is we centralized everything into one place. So we got their digital business card. We took a lot of our video training and put it into a training library. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into real estate, and that's where we're at right now.
I love it. And it's funny because you brought something up that was very interesting. And you're right. I mean, when we first got started, there were a few people in the leadership team like, I don't know if this guy is going to make it. And I mean, he'll remain nameless, but it's funny because we were in the car and he's like, yeah, man.
That was fair.
Well, no. And because at the time you just weren't being your authentic version of yourself. Right. You were not being you. You were not operating within your superpower. And yes, and clients always love Nick Krem. He is great with them. That is very true. And our clients did love it. And at the same time, the other big thing too was that when you weren't operating in your superpower, it hindered it hindered who you really were meant to be. And I think the greatest thing about where we're at now is that I can tell that when you were setting appointments, the number one challenge that we were experiencing was that a lot of the agents didn't have content. They didn't have great things to send. So talk a little bit on that, if you would, kind of what we experienced. And I mean, if you remember setting up appointments and there were no videos. Yeah.
So one of the things that I think we experienced, which I kind of extracted from a lot of this too, is and again, we won't start naming clients here, but some of our clients had a great personal brand and had that name recognition in their marketplace. Right. And I'm not saying everybody has to be the biggest agent ever, but if I say your name over the phone, or if you see my name in an email, you have to be able to recall it from somewhere. The agents who had that name recognition, we would absolutely crush it for, and then some. We would be exponentially outperforming some of the other clients. And then people who couldn't create content, and it doesn't have to be great content, just any content whatsoever, creating content, being on Facebook. We're not saying you have to pay thousands of dollars to have a billboard. Just being on Facebook, being involved in the community. People who are doing the little things, we would still outperform others. So the people who were stuck in the old ways of kind of doing business, where it's all hand to hand, you can't get your name out there. And if you're cold calling, you're calling other people, that's what made it so much harder, especially when I was on the phone, when I was dealing with some of our clients. We're like, man, why is this person doing so much better? It's like, hey, calling on behalf of John Smith. They're like, oh, John, I know John. How much better is it when you're on the phone when that person knows them? That was one of the biggest things that I saw personally and that we dealt with, was that name recognition and just being able to recall you from somewhere. It could be a sign on the street in the neighborhood. I know that's how we did great, because if you had a bunch of signs in the neighborhood, they know your name. If you were on Facebook a lot, they knew your name. If you were involved in the community, they knew your name. Like we said, it didn't have to be billboards. You didn't have to have the biggest, you didn't have to have a TV ad. All you need to do is be active in the community.
And it's so true, because I remember, and I mean, just taking a step back with even Al Stasic, prime example. Funny story. Literally, I was talking to another agent in the Cleveland marketplace. They go, "Oh, isn't that the EXP guy?" And I'm like, "How is he the EXP guy?" Like, but he's on live so much, and that's a big part of it. And being live is a huge part. And Kristen, you coached with Billie Jean, and I mean, Billie Jean's phenomenal. I'm assuming he talked about going live as well, getting in front of the camera. Is that something that you heard a lot about?
Well, the thing that they'll tell you is live is one of the few things that you can do on Facebook that doesn't cost any money. Yeah, now, if you want to boost a live post, terrific. You can boost that up to your people that like your page. You can throw $20 on it. And so that way they can see the video. It's in front of. Now it stops the scroll. People are like, oh, it immediately starts to give you like, oh, these people have a set, forgive me, because they're going on live. I was just telling Nick before the broadcast, I lost a business because I didn't do this. You either do this or you're not going to live that much longer, or it's not going to be as easy. Let's put it that way. So we must go on live. I was the one that brought it. Matt had been wanting to do it. And I said, if we're going to take ourselves to the next level here, there is no other. You have to go live. You go live on Instagram, you go live on Facebook. Facebook's always, and I'll tell you this, the very wise guy that we just kind of connected with as a Facebook coach told us, do one thing well first. You don't have to be the king or queen of every platform. Do one good thing first. It makes it more attainable, and then move on to other platforms. So if your thing is Twitter, then rock and roll on Twitter. And then get really proficient at that, and then go to other things. Everybody tries to do everything because we think we can. And it just takes time. It's not instant. So do one thing first, and Facebook usually is the king. You can go live. It costs this much. Zero.
So Kristen, and I appreciate the framework. Do one thing. So Nick, talk about like what's one thing. And I mean, you actually put on an amazing presentation about a month ago that was about the condensing of content. And I know that for all the viewers that are on here too, and Nick, I don't know if you're okay with this, but I mean, if we could share one of your forms for the content condensation. That would be amazing if you're okay with that.
Forms as far as one of the templates, one of the
yeah, because you had a template that you just shared, I remember, and that was pretty amazing. I mean, but tell everybody, I mean, how can you take? A lot of people think that they have to shoot hundreds of videos, and really, there's a trick. Tell everyone the trick.
So there is a trick when it comes to, well, the trick that we formulated too when it comes to shooting video content and getting pictures and having all of that kind of tied into one. So I know something that I did when I started this, usually when you figure out a trick, you went through the long way enough times to be like, I am sick and tired of doing it this way. So that's right. When I was doing like my win the day videos, I would shoot a new video each day. I would have to think of different props. I would have to think, it would take over an hour sometimes, if not way more than that each and every day. Oh, yeah. Then you had to find time to do it. Then if it got dark and before I had all my lights and I was doing everything, I'd have to go outside and get like a porch light and like wave. I don't know. We were just being creative at the time, right? So we would do all these things just to get content done and going out and shooting pictures. And I'd have to go back years trying to get a good picture. So what we decided to do was figure out a way where we can get 30 days, at least 30 days of content in one singular day. So, and this is the format that we were able to do for it. So first, we always say like the formula, so the formula for a lot of these things is like entertain, educate, execute, right? So with the entertainment part of everything too, it's like picking somewhere where people are going to be automatically entertained when they watch your video. So we'd always pick somewhere like downtown Cleveland, out in the flats, out in different areas to go shoot our videos. We would pick one singular spot. So the first part about this whole thing is just picking a spot that people are going to want to see, especially within your community. So that way, when you're going out there to shoot your videos, you can just take pictures like in between your videos as you're walking to different places. It's just taking pictures every now and then. So when you're done, you can have like 10 to 15, maybe even 20 pictures of you walking to different areas. It's always great to go with somebody, or if you have a smooth or one of those things now, you can do that too. But yeah, you can have somebody take pictures of you just between the video sets. So now you have pictures of you to utilize for content. But here's what we would do as far as the videos go. So every single one of our videos, when we go out there and shoot, we follow a simple problem solution framework, right? It always comes down to who is the audience I'm speaking to. A lot of times, let's say for real estate agents, it's new home buyers, because a lot of times that's what people are trying to dig into the market, like the millennials and everyone coming on. We need to get these new home buyers. So something with them, it'd be like, what is a big problem that they face? So one of the problems would be like financing. They don't know where to find that. They don't know if they have enough money. They don't know if they can even afford it, right? So that would be just one of the problems. One of the solutions is we've worked with a lot of people just like you. We have lenders who specialize in first-time home buying. There's grants and loans and yada, yada, yada. So what you would do is be like, first-time home buyer, you would name a problem that they would have, get 3 talking points, name a solution that you offer and get 3 talking points. And I come up with 5 of those scripts before we even left. So now I just come up with 5 problems that first-time home buyers have, 5 solutions that I offer. Now I'm ready to go shoot video. So now we go to that one place and we shoot all of our video there. And the great thing about picking a lot of these places is I can shoot a video shooting this way. It's one background, take a couple pictures. Then we just turn this way. It's a whole nother background. So people don't know any better. So we take all of our 5 videos in that one spot. So now we have all 5 different videos. We have a bunch of pictures that we just shot. When we come back, we just have templates that we plug things into. And this is what you were talking about earlier. These videos that you see like Grant Cardone, Billie Jean, a lot of these guys shoot, we think it takes this whole production team to do them. A lot of times, part of it might be. But what we realize is there's a lot of templates and there's a lot of just the same top bar that has like a different color or different background with the writing. The bottom bar, which usually has like the loading bar, and all they do is either switch the lighting, they switch the colors, and they switch a couple things. They were templates, and there were things that they follow. Why? Because the great people systematize things. So what we decided to do was systematize the video editing process, which is usually the hardest part. So we take all those 5 videos, come on back, plug them in a template, and then we just have the loading bar, switch a couple colors, boom, video done within 10 minutes. And we do all our videos within those 10 minutes. And then for Instagram, we use something called Later, later.com. And then we just plug in our videos and we plug in our pictures and it automatically posts it for us. So and then that's how we do Instagram, Facebook. For a personal page, we have to do it manually. But yeah, then you just go in and you just have your content, your pictures, and you have your videos, and you're all ready to go right there. And then every now and then you go live just to fill in some of the days. So that's 30 days of content in one singular day. Yeah, what's up, Kristen?
I always found that when we shot videos, it was, and I don't know, maybe this is just me, I found it was easier to do it in pieces. Like those 5 scripts, that can add up to a lot of time because people go, oh, I messed up that word. And then they go back and back and back. And you start, your phone fills up and people get nervous and they don't get it done. That's what used to happen to me. Do it like 2 lines and then pause because you're going to edit it anyway.
Right.
Right. So that's what I would say if that helps. Do you find that, do you do that or can you just rattle it off and you're good?
So what I usually do is, and you'll see like some of the videos and some of the things I do, I show my notebook too. Because you can't see, I'll show my notebook. But so what I usually do is like you have your problem at the top, 3 talking points. Because for me, with video, I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes I stumble through the first couple lines. Sometimes I rattle things off, right? Sometimes I can just get it done and it's so easy. So with that being said, I usually, it's a little mix of both. Sometimes I have to get each specific one, each line by line, and then we edit it. But so I usually like to get through it and even mess up a couple of times because people like the mess ups. It makes you human and it makes them feel like they can relate to you. So what the thing that talks about the thing that really made it easy for me to start doing it, like rattle it off more, is my talking points under each bullet point. It's not an exact script because I hate exact scripts, and I know Matt knows this. Even back when we were at appointments today, we hated exact scripts.
I hate exact scripts. Yes.
Same thing with video. A big thing that I went through was trying to remember an exact script. Screw that. If you know the content, you know the content. I just need talking points so I don't end up in left field. So all it would be is a problem, 3 talking points, a solution, 3 talking points, click the link below. And that's one of the biggest things most people miss is giving a call to action.
Oh my God, yeah.
To be leading people somewhere. I'm sorry, everybody here on Facebook. On social media, we're like children, right? I don't have any children, but I've dealt with them long enough. But we have to tell children 10 times to do something before they actually do it. It's the same thing on social media and a lot of platforms. You have to keep telling people to click the link, schedule a call over and over again until it actually starts working. One of the agents we just started doing some work, started using our tactics, I should say. But we've been working with him for a while, and then he's like implementing everything. He's like, man, once I started giving my call to action, because he does like hour clips now, at the beginning, middle, and end of his like hour clips, which we recommend. If you're doing an hour clip, do it 3 times, like 5 to 10 minutes, do it twice, the beginning and end. But he started doing this, like, dude, my calendar is filling up now because everybody knows why they're getting into your calendar and why they're clicking the link. But it's that simple.
It's huge. And you know what, Nick, the one thing I can tell you that I always looked up to you when it came to moving your feet. Like you didn't allow yourself, because a lot of times what most agents do, and I know you could talk on this, where they want it to be perfect. Oh, it must be perfect. It must be perfect. Right. And I mean, tell me a little bit about let's talk about the iceberg effect. I don't know if you remember the iceberg.
Say that.
Yep.
So something I would do, and you're right. Especially when I first started, I always wanted to get perfect. And I feel like everybody wants it to be perfect when you first start. So something I decided to do, which kind of wet my feet into everything as well, was this thing we called the iceberg effect. Right? Because, icebergs, you see the top part, but you don't see like the huge bottom part. So what I started to do was share my blooper reel. Like, and not even like I do my top 10 blooper reel. I'd have a countdown. My first couple until, I got some pushback from some members in the family. You know how Facebook works. Like, stop cussing on Facebook. And I'm like, okay, I'll bleep it out. I don't be cussing each one of these videos because who doesn't cuss when you're shooting these videos? You might be like, I can't do that. And then you just go through the whole cycle and you go over and over. But yeah, so like the iceberg effect, those are some of the best feedbacks I got were through going on my blooper reels. Why? Because people relate to that. They're like, man, that's just like me. I even had some people reach out to me and said they feel that much better about video and going out and shooting video because they realize that I don't get it perfect either. I'm like, I'm not even close to perfect when it comes to shooting video. So a lot of times it's, like you said, when your message is internalized, it comes off a lot smoother on camera and in general. That's a great point, Steph. And it is when it's internalized, but even so when I would do those videos, I would still have like a script here in the background, right? If you go live, especially by yourself, have some notes. For Pete's sake, have some notes. There are some things I know like the back of my hand, but when I went live by myself, You freeze. Okay, so if I stop talking, nobody else is going to pick it up. So if you're going live by yourself, please, for the love of God, have some notes here on the side with you. You will thank me later. Even like not now, because I know we can answer and we don't have to have notes. But if you're going live by yourself, I will say it again for the people who just hopped on. Have some notes on the side because you'll get lost. You'll forget what you're talking about. You know it like the back of your hand. You get lost. So yeah, that would be the one pro tip that we'll get out of this, or the one of many.
I can't stop from laughing because every time after all of my podcasts, and it's so funny because I am my most harshest critic, and I'll go to Stephanie. I go, pick it apart. I go, what was good? What was bad? And she's like, you're all over the damn place. So to make sure that I hit key points every single time because it's so easy to do because you're in your flow, you're in your train of thought, you're talking through it, and the next thing you know, you're out in the outer space.
Oh,
and yeah, it's crazy. You said something earlier that I believe that if everyone didn't catch it, when you're shooting these videos, you're speaking to the challenge of that individual. You're starting off with like, that's your hook, so to speak, where you're saying, hey, this is the challenge that people like you might be having. If you're having that challenge, you go into a story and then your call to action is your offer, which hook, story, offer, I'm sure, that's, the name of the game. But what would you say has made you really good when it comes to the content element? And because you're with Content Cardz, which you are founder, owner, co-founder, and it's been amazing. I mean, having that, I have it for myself. It condenses the digital space. People don't have to keep looking for all of your stuff all over the place. It's in one consistent location. Right. But what was the thought process behind that element? Like, how did you take your content and utilize Content Cardz, and how can someone else do the same thing?
Well, when it comes down to it, it comes down to like ad recall, right? Because that's one of the biggest things when it comes down to if you're running ads, if you're having a billboard, if you have advertising on TV, on Facebook, anywhere. Can I remember what I'm supposed to do? Right? Because if I can't remember an hour later what I'm supposed to do, where to go, or who to go to, then your ad is not working. That's why I know someone who does this a lot, and this is something I picked up from it too with billboards, was Jay Kinder. What he does is like, he'll pick out a billboard or something. He's like, what am I supposed to do here? And it stuck with me when he kept doing it over and over. He's like, so their phone number is huge, and we were joking about this on one of our lives. I'm like, who here has ever read a couple numbers off a billboard, got off the highway, got back out of the exit, came back up, got the next couple numbers just to figure out who the hell to call, right? It's the same thing when we're doing videos. It's the same thing when we're doing a lot of these things. If you're just giving your phone number, and be honest with yourselves, anybody who's watching this, or just you guys here too, have you ever watched a Facebook Live or a video, heard them say their number, pause, write down their number, go back, get their next couple numbers? Has anybody here actually wrote down a number off of Facebook, decided to go back and call them?
No.
No, because you know why? It's not easy. Something that we really made it was easy to make a call to action. It's easy, whether it's a text, email, Facebook, Instagram. You can use our Content Cardz link on any of the platforms. All you have to do is tell people to click the link below. When everybody uses their phone number, we're in a day and age where if it's not easy, I'll spend 3 hours looking for an easier way to do something that could have taken me 10 minutes. Why? Because I'm like, man, that's not easy. But my hard-headedness is I'll go back and try and find something easier. So that's why we always tell people to use the links, to use everything, because we put all your call to actions in one place. So whether it's follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, watch this video, go to my testimonial, schedule a call, get a free home evaluation. It all goes to the same place. And that's that ad recall. If I tell people 10 different things, they're probably going to remember one, if not anything else. But if I keep telling you to go to the same place over and over and over and over again, that's when it gets drilled into your head. So that way you get the same call to action over and over again. They're going to remember where to go. And the best part about what we do is it's not contentcardz.com/Matt Milia. It's not contentcardz.com/Nick Krem. We think of the ways that we would want it run. It's just nickkrem.com or nickkrem.work or call mattmilia.com. We personally brand it to each one of us because we know for our product to work, people have to remember where to go. That's why we give everybody their own custom link. We give everything that's branded to them on the page. Why? Because it makes more sense that way. We were looking for a product. Trust me, we are looking for something that did this, that we didn't have to either spend thousands of dollars on or wasn't branded for the entire company. We couldn't find it. That's why we branded everything to the end user, and it's your own website. It's all customized, and it's for only $20 a month. That's why we made it. We didn't want to do this at first. Trust me, we didn't want to go start our own company. That wasn't the goal. We were looking for the problem that our agents had that we were working with to solve it. When we didn't find it, we're like, well, looks like we'll have to create it for them. So we created it for them, and then that's where they're like, man, you got to get this to other people, and that's how it kind of got born. But it's that ad recall is one of the biggest things that I think this is going to be able to offer. Is because it's personally branded to each person, so you know exactly where to go to work with them. And on top of that, like I said, I've never in my life paused a video, wrote down a number, went back. Heck, I've never even copy and pasted a phone number off of the description. Why? Because it's not easy. Everywhere in our life revolves around being easy. If it's not easy, quite frankly, none of us are doing it. Why is Uber super successful? Because I plug in the app. All I do is put in an address and hit go. That's how easy it is. That's who our competition is with. Are you as easy to work with as these other places?
So true. And it's funny because I think of all of these, and listen, guys, realtors or mortgage loan officers, whoever's, if you're tuning in, and again, I say this with the utmost respect because I did it when I was a DJ. I used to drive around and I had a emblem on my car that was like Milia One DJ Services. Call the number. Guess how many people called the damn number? Nobody. No one called the number. Why? Because I'm driving. If I'm writing down and you sure as hell don't want to be driving next to that guy. It's dangerous. You're probably going to get hit.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason, like the branding is not just, it's about making it easy to consume. It's about having the digital space where people can go and consume all of your content and then realize that you are the expert, you are the authority. Right. And Nick, hell, when you were calling on, I mean, you were smooth like butter on the phone. Like you got people they would engage, they would be educated, they were happy, they were looking forward to meeting with the agent. And then all of a sudden it was like, all right, cool. Here we go. I'm going to hand you off to the agent. And then the agents got nothing. They had no email. They had no video. There was nothing to make them feel good.
We had some good agents too. I just want to make that.
We did. Yes, 100%.
Make that point that
100%.
Man, you were great, but then the agent. No, we had good agents, but it was that between period, that handoff that we saw was a problem too. Working with, of course, at the company that we were with you guys, Appointments Today, we did a phenomenal job, and that one piece was the handoff a lot of times. So now, so we work with another guy, Q, who does his 2K Wednesdays, a bunch of calling. He's like, every time I text him on my digital card, he was just telling him this. He's like, someone's like, yeah, okay, a digital card. He's like, but then they click on it, they're always like, ooh, look at this, and then they click on it, they move around, they see his videos, his testimonials. That's what people like to do. We like to surf the internet. We like to look at somebody and check out all their things. When you have a video on the page, which we do, which again, a lot of places that we worked with, they wouldn't have a video. It's just a bunch of links. That first video is a great first impression every single time. I could be out at the bars having a good old time, but guess what? That video is still working. I had a listing appointment and that video is still working. So that video at the top, it's a great first impression every single time.
So true. And it's funny because even, Billie Jean said it best, like when it comes to social media now, we're competing with babies and butts. I mean, that's really what it is. People see, congratulations on your new baby. You ever realize when somebody has a child, there's like 500 likes, but then, or you have a guy or girl that's scantily dressed and they're like, oh, I like this. It's like we're competing against that. And the only way to own the space and to get around all of that is to diversify and be consistent with your content strategy. And Nick, if you would, because this is a huge element that I really want to go into, talk about the consistency of this, because everybody's busy. Everyone's got so much stuff going on, and they've got these people they're competing against, and they're trying to build their own brand and their business. if you're busy, how do you do this?
Well, and I think that's where there's different levels to this as well, right? Because if you're super busy and you can afford it, have somebody that shoots your content, edits it, and posts it for you. But here's the one thing that most people miss out on. Don't go the generic content way. Don't go having somebody else shoot your content for you. Why?
Yep.
Because when you do that, you're taking away that whole personal branding. You're taking away the whole effect that it's supposed to have. So when it comes down to it, and here I'm grabbing my charging cord because that wouldn't be good if we died here. So, so with that being said, the one thing that I see a lot of people who do have enough funds to do it the right way is they outsource it. When you you're outsourcing companies that do it for people and have the content already made, but that doesn't give your audience any connection with you. When you go out on the appointment or they see it, everybody sees so many ads nowadays that it's overwhelming. We see them on Facebook. We see them on TV. Heck, if you don't have Hulu Plus, you see them on Hulu. So you see them like a bunch of different places, right? So when you see another generic ad, it's just like, okay, another one of these. Nobody looks at the name that comes with it. So if you have the money to do it right. Take one day out of your month, like we just said, and shoot 10 different videos. Have that person edit it. Have them have some pictures with it. Why? Number one, because it's actually you. That goes a long way. And number two, I'll stop and watch a video if I know it's in my town. If I see the background there, I'm like, that's interesting. You want to take over a neighborhood? Go shoot videos in that neighborhood. Why? Because everybody in that neighborhood will stop and watch. Because number one, they know it's custom to them. And on top of that, it's somewhere that they can understand and relate to. So that's one of the biggest things we started working with agents. You want to take over a neighborhood? Go shoot some fucking videos in that neighborhood. It's so easy to take in front of the sign, to walk in front of homes. Hell, I'll be like, when are they going to walk in front of my home? I'll watch the whole video just to see if you walk in front of my home. That's how you get people more engaged. So that's one way to really start doing it more is number one, like we said, 30 days in content one day. If you have the funds, but you don't have the time, take one day out of the month. And if you don't have one day, you're lying. I'll get you a time. I'll get somebody to help you with your time blocking, right?
Yeah.
So take one day out of the month, go and shoot videos, have your editor edit those videos for you and just post it throughout the month with some pictures here or there and go live and boom, you have a piece of content a day for a month. If you're doing it by yourself, either get somebody to come with you to help with the videos or get like a selfie stick or a Smooth and you can go places and shoot these videos. But again, it's a lot easier to condense it into one day. And on top of that too, how many times are we out and about doing listing appointments? How many times are we out and about as realtors in different places? What we don't realize is that those are all content opportunities. And I said this for one of my lives before. How many times, you guys don't have to like speak up here, but how many times have we been somewhere, saw the opportunity and didn't take it when it came to going live? Like, man, this would be a great place to do a video. Like how many times have we thought that, but how many times have we
almost every damn day. If it wasn't for my wife, I mean, that like she's the one. Like it's funny because we walked in. We just went to this preemie part. It was an event, and she walked in, and she's like immediately like filming the room. She's like, "Hey, everybody, hey!" And they're all like, "Whoa, this guy's got a videographer." Like, I mean, but it was amazing because everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that," because it shows you being a philanthropist. It shows you being out in the field, helping others, doing more than just real estate. And it's a crossover. It's a hybrid between personal and business. And Nick, I mean, brings me to probably one of the most important questions because so many people are confused on it. And I want your take on it because I have my take. I think we're both really very much so in alignment. But when it comes to my business page, should I be all business all the time, or should I integrate with my personal life? And then in addition to that, should my business be on my personal and my personal be also personal? Like, talk a little bit on that. What are your thoughts?
So a lot of times it's not the answer that people want to hear, but it's a little bit of both, right? Because everyone's like, oh, there has to be X and like black and white, but there's really not. Because like, especially with your business page, something that we pride ourselves on as a community champ. It's the book that we have in our training library. It's what we brand ourselves as. It's being involved in the community, and that's what people want to see. Like going out and doing videos with local business owners, going and showing yourself eating in the community, doing different things. Because why do people move to different areas? A lot of times it's for work. So for businesses, it's for school districts. So you can shoot videos with people in the school districts. It's like the local town, the eatery, like the different things that they can do in the town. That's why people move places. So if you're just focused on, I sold a home, I sold a home, I sold a home, people are like, that's great. But everyone has that voice in their head, whether we like to admit it or not. What's in it for me? So if I'm only shooting videos talking about my accomplishments and things I'm doing, I'm like, great, good for you. We'll see you later. But if I'm out in a community that I want to own as an agent, I'm shooting videos with local business owners, different places to eat, the school district, different things to do around town. I'm embodying, becoming the community champ of every reason why somebody would want to move to that area. So if I can tie myself to all those different things, people are going to look to me as the local expert. And that's what we all want to be, right? It's the local expert. So like with this page, what's going on in the community? What's an event that's going on? What's some things that you're giving back to? That's what people want to see, and they want to be tied into it. As far as your business, your personal page, yeah, you want to tie in some of your business stuff too, because you want people to know you're a realtor on there as well. So again, like community events, if you're going to a mastermind, that's a great thing to post on both of them. If you're going to a local event that's like a local mastermind, that's a great thing to post on your personal page. So it's a great mix of both, but you don't want to be heavy on one side in either facet. And a lot of times too, like we say with business pages, if we're not boosting or organically boosting or doing something in some way, you have to start. You have to, especially even if it's an organic boost on your business page, you got to do something, because you have to think about it. It's like the paid version of the app. If you just go the free way on the paid version of the app, trust me, Facebook is pretty dang smart. Their algorithm is pretty smart. If we're not going to go that route, then we got to start figuring out another way to do it.
Best comment of the day. Facebook is smart.
Yep, there it is.
It's true. It's true. I mean, and it's, you know what, guys, here's the thing. You bring up so many great points, because when you're trying to build your brand and build yourself up, you are human. You have children. You may enjoy a drink every once in a while. You may enjoy going out with your friends. You may enjoy being a little outlandish. Be yourself. I mean, no. And here's the thing. When I first started this, even our podcast, the one thing that I always was concerned about, I go, man, I swear a lot. I curse, but that's who I am. And I don't do it for shock factor. I do it because it's just the way I talk. Right. And I actually read somewhere that people who curse are more trustworthy. So, I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Right. But at the end of the day, guys, you need to be yourselves on video. And even if you're not the most fun person in the world, that's okay. Go to fun places. You don't have to work in your superpower. I mean, would you agree with that, Nick, working in your superpower?
100%. And here's the thing. People want to work with people who are just like them. If you want to seem perfect, guess what? Nobody in this world sees themselves as perfect. Everybody sees themselves as a basket case in one way or another. So if you want to be perfect, guess what? You won't get many clients that way. And that's perfectly fine. Like you said, go to things and places that you enjoy. Because guess what? There's a lot of other people out who are there who enjoy it. And chances are you'll connect better with them and you'll end up working with them better. So go to places you enjoy. Shoot things that you like to do. Show your family. Because those are things that people really connect with.
So true. And I think that where a lot of people miss the opportunity is that they're so worried about offending. They're so worried about chasing away, or they're worried about making a mistake and being made to look stupid. And no one gives a shit about that. They don't care. And you know what I've realized is the more mistakes that you make, people are like, wow, he's human. Yeah. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. There were actually, I read this a long time ago, and I'm not going to throw a stat out there, but I remember hearing something about JFK. And JFK was like, he was loved, but he was so polished and so perfect that people were like, he's almost too perfect. Right. And you don't want to always be too perfect. You need to be yourself, because we stumble, we stutter. Sometimes we'll use an and an or we'll use a word enhancer. It's just the way that it goes, and people like that. It makes it authentic and genuine. So,
and it's funny. Oh, sorry, Kristen, you want to go?
Go ahead, Kristen.
If I may, it also gives it like, hey, I could do that, right? So it can inspire people to go, well, shit, that's okay. They messed up. It's all right. It's not the end of the world. We're all still here, right? So that's the other thing too. I mean, I had to get over that myself. I was so afraid of making a mistake online, and it can paralyze you from doing anything at all. So don't let it. Just these guys couldn't be more right. Billy Jean, who's a huge guy on video, he makes goofs all the time, and he doesn't care. It's part of the gig. Oh, that's it. That's the way life goes.
I think he's funny. I watched the beginning of his training, and he's like talking to his staff members. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, why is he talking to his staff members? Like, does he not realize he's live? And that's just a part of his allure. He doesn't care. He's like, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing behind the scenes. I might be yelling or saying something crazy about whatever they got going on. And the one video that resonates with me that he did was outside of the beach. I believe he was like in a house in Long Beach or somewhere in California. And he goes up to a whiteboard and he said, like, literally, he was drunk. Like, he was literally like, they were having a party at their house and he was drunk. And he goes to the whiteboard and he starts writing things down about, like, how to be influential and how to get more people to watch your stuff. And here's how you use this prop. And I'm like, what? Like, I can't. And you would have never known. He talked about it after the fact. You would have never known.
Right. And
crazy.
Too. It's amazing because I was talking again on this live with this gentleman the other day, and it really made me think. And it's out of all the great things I do, the couple times I mess up, that's what people, and it's not to like deter you away from it, but that's what people remember and they'll come back to you for that. And it's not like they're pointing out like, ha, but at the end of the day, it comes down to recall, right? If they can remember you for anything, whether it's the greatest thing you do or the worst thing you do in the world, but if they remember you, that's what it's all about. So as many videos as I shot, the ones that people still come up to me to this day are the bloopers. And that's perfectly fine because they're still going to tune in just to see another blooper or just to see something else. But they're tuning in. They're consuming the information. So if you're worried about messing up, good. Mess up. People will remember it and they'll come back because you're human. And that's what they want to see too.
Yep. And I actually made sure that I threw in the comments the iceberg effect. So if I mean, and I remember the iceberg effect because I mean, there were times that literally a lot of our bloopers, I mean, they weren't forced bloopers. And then we got to a point where we're like, let's do a couple random crazy ones. And I remember the one I charged in the office and I don't know what in the world I said. It was something totally outlandish. And you're like, what the hell? I'm shooting videos in here.
You forced that one. I wasn't in on the joke there. I was in my video being serious. I know you're out there scheming with some other guys like, hey guys, watch this. And you I'm shooting my video.
I remember those days. Those were fun. So you know, Nick, for anybody that wants to get in touch, and I'm gonna put this on the screen, but www.contentcardz.com. That's content cards with a Z. By the way, it's ingrained into me now because that's what he says every time. Nick, please, I didn't mean to take that. Can you say that again? What is the website?
Contentcards.com. That's contentcards with the Z.com.
That's branding, ladies and gents, and you won't forget that. I mean, I never put an S in there. I mean, when I was writing it out the other day, I almost started the thing off with a Z because I just kept it's with a Z. So
Z, content card, Z, yeah.
Right, I felt like Zontent. Like, no, wait, hold on, that's not so right. But the point of this, everyone, is that if you want to be an influencer and you want to be recognized as a industry leading expert and you want to be known as the best of the best, now is the time. The digital space is yours for the taking. You just need to take it. Like, you need to burn the boats. Like, take it. Like, get on there, get on the phone, record yourself, get in front of it. I'm telling you, and guys, it doesn't cost you a whole lot of money. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't cost you a whole lot of money. If you got an iPhone, and I mean, I know, Nick, you could talk best on this, but I mean, if you got an iPhone, and even, hell, Samsung is great. The Google Pixel is amazing. I mean,
iPhone, but that's just me, you know.
listen, I get it. I'm a Mac guy through and through.
Got great cameras, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the way I look at it is that if you've got that iPhone, you're able to do it. And there's so many things now that are out there that are allowing us to get 4K quality, 1080 quality. I mean, and it doesn't have to all be that way. It's just a matter of, you don't want to, and I know, Nick, you could, again, talk more on this, but you don't want to detract. You don't want to detract away from the quality. Like if the quality is grainy and you can't see the person, it's not great. But at least if you can see them and it's not detracting away, most phones, even the iPhone, you know, going back to the 5 and the 6, they still shoot good enough video that it should not detract away from anyone. Oh, wow. And ultimately, it's crappy video is 100 times more effective than no video.
Yeah.
So, Nick, I really appreciate you being on. We had a ton of great takeaways. One last thing that I guess want to make sure that everyone knows with your recording software, what is one that you guys recommend?
Recording software. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant. See, we're not going to edit that out. So I meant video editing software. What is one video editing?
Camtasia. Camtasia. That's one that we use. It's very simple to use. I believe it's like $200 you pay for it one time, and you got it for a life. I think you could have a couple people on it. Heck, I think you actually got it, Matt, and I think I'm using the one that you got, if I'm not mistaken.
You probably are, but I mean, yeah, and that's awesome because I still have it to this day. I love it.
Wow.
I was looking at Final Cut Pro was another one, and I was looking at Adobe Pro. I mean, there were so many different ones I was looking at. And I'm like, these are more difficult, and Camtasia is really easy.
Yeah, it's simple, and at the end of the day, I don't pride myself on being as like a pure videographer, right? Like I can make the edits I need to make. If I want to go that route, I'm sure I could learn it and do that. But I don't. I want to be able to get in there, use my templates, and use everything that's already been created. Camtasia is a great way to create templates, to create things. And heck, if you guys want a crash course on it, you guys could always go to Content Cardz. We have, within our weekly training, we go over different things like that. So yeah.
You train people in Content Cardz?
Yeah. So we give you your digital business card, which is like your whole website, which has all your links within there. Then we back it up with a training library, which we have 25 pre-made video scripts for realtors to plug into. We go over our community champ book, which is like our entire book of how to become more involved in the community, shoot content the right way. We also have like our video interviews, how to conduct an interview within there. We go over the best ways to start utilizing your digital business card. So where to put it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, email signature, or text. So we teach you guys how to do all that. And on top of that, we have a weekly coaching and Facebook group, which we go over best practices of agents that are doing it right now. So we go over like different things that people are doing, different questions that get asked. So basically, Milia signing off with some bombs. Yeah, he is. We have weekly coaching. We have our member training library complete with over those 25 different video scripts. And you get the digital business card for $20 a month. All of that.
Man, I don't know how you're charging that little for that much. I mean, I would pay. I mean, I shouldn't say it too loud because my bill's going to go to $50 a month. Right. But I mean, it's well worth paying double for because I can't even tell you how many times people be like, "Hey, I don't know a whole lot about you, but I saw your card. Like, what is that? Like, how'd you do that? Like, did you do that?" I'm like, "No, actually, I have a company that does it." And I mean, it really is easy. That's the biggest thing, guys. It's easy. And everybody wants easy. Everyone moves towards convenience. We have an inside sales contact center. Why is the inside sales contact center successful? Because we do it for them. It's easy. They don't have to get on the phone. They don't have to prospect. They don't have to sit at their desk and, stare at the same cup of coffee for 3 hours and keep tapping their pen and hope to God that someone's going to pick up the telephone to talk to them and set an appointment.
Right.
It's easy for us to take that off of their plate. And what you're doing is you're taking the stress away of having to be a digital content master, of having to be the greatest person ever on video and having to know what to talk about, having to know who they should, interview and what a step-by-step paint by numbers process should look like. Right. You do it for them. You make it easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, I mean, I can't tell you enough that how great it is. ContentCardz.com. That's www.contentcardz.com with a Z. And that's right. I had to throw that in there because I love it. But guys, I mean, that in itself is an absolute game changer for you and your business. And I will tell you that when we were setting up appointments for agents, I so wish that they had this content because some of these agents, and when I say some of them, I mean really almost every single one that we've worked with, they sell so many homes. They have amazing reviews on Zillow. They have amazing reviews on Google. They have amazing reviews on Facebook. But people don't know exactly where to find all those reviews. Yeah. Sometimes it's challenging. It's not well organized. It's all over the place.
All those reviews.
And that's the truth of the matter.
If I may, if you have content cards, wouldn't that be a great listing tool to say, hey, look, people can just get a hold of me. Like you show that to your seller and they're like, oh my God, this lady has her shit together. Well, right? It's like, just like showing your feed, say, look at all the things we do, right? You can hand them your phone and then you say, okay, you were talking to such and such, look at their feed. Okay. Yeah. House. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know, I mean, use it to your advantage that you are technologically savvy and that'll help them sell their house faster, maybe.
Yeah.
No, because you're more connected. People are going to say, wow, she's quick, you know?
And if it's over the phone too, I mean, right when you hang up the phone, you send it to them right away. They start viewing all your stuff. So you're not a stranger if you're coming over there.
Exactly. I love it.
Right. I can send out that text in a matter of a second because I know what the link is. It's my name. And we can beat anybody on it too. And it looks like Matt may have just hopped off. Or it looks like we lost Matt. Or no, maybe that's just me. Matt's back.
No, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
I'm back. I think that, guys, where I believe the content cards is going to fit in, especially if you're not tech savvy.
Yeah.
Because if you're not technologically savvy and you have a lot of, you have great content, but you don't have places for it. And I mean, this is a little bit of a damaging admission, but it's true. I have over 170 videos. Thank God for having my wife and having have a team of people with the content. If you're putting the right stuff out there and you're talking to the right audience. And I mean, I never would have dreamed to have a YouTube channel or be, all over LinkedIn or even and what you guys have. I mean, you're all over the place and you've condensed everyone's content. You've made it so that they can go to a place that it's easy, it's simple. And I will tell you that if it revolves around convenience, your clients will go there every single time, period.
Nailed it.
So Nick, thank you so much for jumping on. This has been and again, if people want to find you, where do they go?
ContentCards.com. That's ContentCards with the Z.com.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. And we'll probably alter the day because it's going to be Christmas next week on Wednesday. So I won't be here during Christmas, but I do plan on coming in on Thursday. So I will be in on Thursday with our next guest, and it's going to be a great one. So see you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Kristen, and catch you guys later.